Good morning. Good morning. My camera is so weird. I've got this like C992 Logitech thing, so it's like meant to be really good, but for some reason, always on mine, I look so kind of blurry compared to everyone else who has this camera. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. It's really frustrating though. It frustrates me. So, sorry guys, I was off yesterday. I was not in a good way yesterday. I tell you what, I rarely get sick. Rarely, rarely. I think if I look back at my life of working, sick days, can't even think of them. I tended to get sick on weekends if I ever did get sick, but I rarely ever get sick, like catch a cold or anything like that. But this one, oh boy, I look kind of, I got some food poisoning, I'm sure, something I ate, I'm sure must have been, and was just a mess, for the entire day. From Monday, like 3 a.m. until like this morning. But back on the tools, So yeah, that's what happened. I went away as well for the weekend. Went up to the snow, in just an hour out of Tokyo by bullet train, and you're in like a winter wonderland. It was really beautiful. I love it. Just going out into they call it nature bathing in Japan. There's a word, I can't remember the word in Japanese, but it translates to nature bathing, and it's just so true, right? When you reconnect your energy, your vibration, everything about you is just in sync, and it makes you feel wonderful. So I was feeling great up until 3 a.m. Monday morning. And I wasn't feeling too great, but that was something I ate Sunday night, I'm sure, in Tokyo. Not, which is kind of rare. You rarely get sick in Tokyo from anything. It's not like other parts of Asia. Just something happened. Anyway, what I wanted to come on visit was just something that kind of prompted me in a discussion I was just having earlier this morning with a new potential student, is the doctor frame. The doctor frame, as I call it. And it's in relation to your LinkedIn profile, guys. It's really important that the way that you set your profile is that not only is it set in a way that's optimized for LinkedIn, meaning that it's going to be picked up by the algorithm. It's going to then, when you're picked up by the algorithm, it gives you greater visibility. It allows you to be shown up in searches more. Having an optimized profile also allows you to get greater visibility through your search appearances, but also more importantly is the message that you have is critical when you are doing the outreach part, when you're running different kinds of campaigns, whether that's a connection campaign, a visibility campaign, a messaging campaign. Whenever you're doing one of those three main campaigns on LinkedIn, if you don't have that correct frame from the very start, it affects all your numbers afterwards. It really has detrimental effect on all your conversion numbers with any activity that you're doing. So in particular, guys, having, I call the doctor frame, is absolutely essential for you to have success on LinkedIn. And this is where I see a huge gap in some of the learnings and the coaching out there, is that the way that they optimize, and they generally do it without regard to a number of the key factors. And the big one is the client personas that you're going after. It just makes sense, right? To ensure that you have framed yourself in a way that is going to be appealing to your target audience. It's so basic, but it's something I see that is missed over and over and over again, where they go too far into the optimization, they forget the messaging, they forget the storytelling, and not only that, they go too salesy. So they go one step further and they turn the page into something that has a feel to it that's salesy. Now, I have a very scientific method extremely scientific method to work out if a profile is salesy or not. And this works 99% of the time. This is a method I have employed over and over again, and is excellent. It does multiple data analysis, SPSS variations, everything. Basically, what you do is you have your profile. You get 3 to 5 people that you trust, that you like, that are your kind of mates or whatever. And you do this. You say to them, I want you to be completely honest and open and tell me the first things you think of when you look at my profile. And you tell them to look at your profile right then and there, have them like this on a call or live on a phone, whatever, and ask them to look at your profile. That is the best test, because there is a feel to it as well. A lot of our gut feeling, a lot of our intuition, a lot of our senses that we see when we look at a profile actually have massive impact on whether we stay on a profile or we click off a profile. So your friends will be able to tell you very, very quickly if you ask them, what do you feel when you look at my page? And that's a really important question. I mean, scientific, I was being a bit tongue-in-cheek. But I tell you what, if you are sensing it yourself, if you are sensing, I think it's too salesy, then probably it is too salesy. Probably it is. Now, if your friends are also saying it's too salesy, you've got to make changes to it, because a salesy page, what impact that will have? It will dramatically reduce your conversion numbers. And if you are working in a small, tight market of active players, if you are going through and trying to connect to them and they are not connecting, you are burning through those connections faster than you really want to be. And it just means that you're not going to have the outreach, you're not going to have the network. And I see it all the time. You'll see these guys with cover photos, and it has all these, what I offer, and ticks, and like this and that, and it just screams sales. It just screams sales. And you've got to avoid that at all costs on LinkedIn, guys. People, when they connect, they don't want to connect to the sales guy. They want to connect to the advisor. They want to connect to the expert. That's what they want to connect to. And if they don't see you as that, it's going to be very, very hard for you to get action from them and from them to take action. So please, with your profiles, not only when you optimize your profiles so you get picked up by the LinkedIn algorithm, and there's a whole heap of different factors that will help you there, but the important thing is the messaging that you bring to your profile. And I call it the Dr. Frame, and my coach talks about the Dr. Frame in terms of doing sales presentations, but I bring it to the actual profile. And the way to think of it, and if you've been on a call with me, you'll hear this analogy. When you're walking down the street and you see a doctor's surgery, he's not out the front handing out a pamphlet saying, when you're sick, come in here. When you're sick, come in here. He's not doing that. You walk past the doctor's surgery, you see, Dr. Nundan, Dr. Smith, neurosurgeon, whatever it is, and you instantly know. You instantly have the feel. You instantly know that that's a doctor. When I'm sick, that's where I go. All right? And that's what your profile has to do for your specific industry, for your specific niche, is that when people walk past your profile, they are going to spend about 6 to 10 seconds. On average, it's about 7 seconds. Within 7 seconds of landing on your profile, they are going to determine whether to read on or click off your profile. Yeah, I've seen it over and over and over and over again. I've studied this with consultants. That's what it is. You've got about 7 seconds, 7 second skim to be able to present all the information, enough impactful information that they're going to stay on your profile. Okay, you've got 7 seconds. Now, if someone's got to search for stuff, if someone sees big chunks of text, if someone hasn't got a clear message, they're clicking off and they're never coming back. And more than likely, they're not going to accept your connection request. Or if they did accept your connection request, more than likely, they're not going to take your message. They're not going to reply to you. They're not even going to reach out to you. So that's how it works. It truly works that way. that you have that moment of influence. You have about 7 seconds for them to decide to click on, stay on your profile, read more, or click off. So therefore, you've got to establish your profile in that doctor frame. You've got to show the outcomes that you get. You've got to show your authority. You have to establish your credibility, any kind of social proofs, and it has to be clear. There has to be format and form to your profile, right? You've really got to frame it in a way that is easy for people to read the information. You've got to direct them through your profile the way you want them to be directed through the profile. Don't leave anything to chance, and more importantly, don't look horribly salesy. It's just not going to help you in any way. So there's some huge tips for you guys. If you like that, press the like button. Like. No one liked me. No one. I can see a couple of you watching this now, but you're not liking it. I hate you all. No, I don't. I love you all. I'm still feeling a little bit, so I've got to bring more energy. I know. But after a day of leaking from every part of the body, it's just not good. It's not good. There's some likes. Bang. Thank you, guys. Good stuff. So anyway, there you go. The doctor frame. I think it's really critical for you guys to nail that. And it just helps with the conversion dramatically. I mean, you will see high conversion numbers, and messaging rates at massive numbers. None of this. I just read this article yesterday, this blog post by this guy who's got I've got a strategy to get 4 appointments a week off LinkedIn. And basically, let me tell you what it was. It was contact 1,000 people, 3 to 5% of them will get back to you, and then you get appointments from that. That's the strategy. So lame. These growth hackers, sometimes the growth hacking's gone too far in my opinion. I really think growth hacking, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm old school on this. I'm not even old school because I'm not that old, 43. I know I look 33, but there's a big, I find the charge for growth hacking great. There's people that just want massive numbers, that want huge distribution, that want to get into the millions and play those number games. That's fine. Like if you're into that, hats off to you. The purpose, I'm not sure. Certainly, if you're a solopreneur or a small entrepreneur and you're trying to, I don't quite get it, but I'd much prefer to be able to deal with a small group of people and get 60, 70% of them engaging with me in communications and me being able to pitch something to them eventually, rather than 3 to 5%. It just does my head in. But each to his own. That's the thing. There's multiple ways to skin a cat on LinkedIn. I just think the growth hacking approach defeats the purpose of LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is about those relationship building, and also LinkedIn gives you the opportunity to really establish yourself as an authority. It becomes your online reputation, and people are seeing that and checking that. And if you're just going after the numbers, I think you've just kind of wasted so much opportunity on LinkedIn. You've wasted so many elements of LinkedIn that LinkedIn offers you by just trying to growth hack it. But anyway, that's just my feeling. I found that the guys that are under my coaching, they're getting real relationships, making real money, real deals, and it's not just a matter of getting 1,000 emails off LinkedIn in a month and banging that out through cold email, or even slightly warm email, and getting 3% return. It's just churn and burn. And I tell you what, if you're in a certain industry, I can tell you now why you're getting 3%. It's because you're going after inactive, dormant accounts that are on LinkedIn. Like if you used your brain a little bit, actually went in there and actually did some filtering and actually learned how to use the platform, you wouldn't be going after those people in the first place. And you wouldn't be risking, just burning and churning. But, each to their own. Anyway, Dr. Frame, guys, use the Dr. Frame. It will absolutely save the day, and you'll make money from that, having that kind of profile over anyone's growth hacking. So, all right, I'm out of here. I need a drink or something. I just feel, haven't eaten in a day. Probably good for the diet, but anyway, so that's it. Enjoy that, and I'll catch you later when I'm feeling a little bit better. So see you guys. Bye.